Good morning, everyone. Football fan 148 here, and welcome to my Watford versus Chelsea live match preview. Sorry about that; just got a bit of tickle in my throat there. Oh, sorry about that. So just trying to get it out of my throat there. But anyway, let's get on to this game, shall we? I mean, this game this afternoon, I think for Watford, I think it will be very, very tricky. Very, very tricky for them this afternoon. Because Chelsea, if you didn't know, by the title of the live stream, in a bit of a winning mentality so far. Because they've won their last 6 games in the Premier League. And it could become 7 if they beat Watford this afternoon. So it's definitely going to be interesting this afternoon. I mean, Chelsea, they are the highest scoring Premier League side on the road this season. This season, and they've only won 2 of the 12 Premier League meetings against Chelsea, and 2 of the last 21 in all competitions. Draw 5, lost 14. And the last 12 Premier League meetings have featured, wait for it, a whopping 40 goals. But guys, Watford at the minute, this is what could happen if Watford is going this afternoon. I mean, their stats aren't exactly brilliant. I mean, they are already the first team to fail to win any of their opening 10 Premier League games in a domestic. They're already first team to fail to win any of their 10 opening games to a Premier League season on 2 occasions, having previously done so in the 2006/07 season, the season, I think, when they got relegated back to the division known as the Coca-Cola Championship. They're currently winless in their last 9 Premier League home games, drawing 4 and losing 5. They've only scored 1 goal in their past 5 in all games in all competitions. And Gerard Deulofeu's 24 shots without scoring is a Premier League high at the minute, which isn't great for Watford. But meanwhile, for Chelsea, it is going really, really well for them. I mean, they're currently on a current club record in the top flight of 4 consecutive away wins while scoring 3 or more goals. They could also equal the club record of 7 successive away wins in all competitions. And there's been 27 goals in Chelsea's 5 Premier League away matches this season. And Tammy Abraham, he scored a Premier League high of 6 away goals this season, more than any Chelsea players ever managed last season. And Michy Batshuayi, he's on a really good form against Watford. Listen to this. He scored in all 4 of his competitive appearances against Watford. So it's not looking great for Watford. Dazza says, good morning. I'm currently travelling to Derby. Yes, he's on his way to the Derby versus Middlesbrough game, which I think Darren Bond is the referee. Oh dear. Oh dear. Does not sound good, that Darren Bond refereeing for you there. Not great at all, Dasney. But seriously, though, I mean, this game, I think Chelsea could win huge. And also, guys, here's another stat for you. Now, 15 of Chelsea's 23 league goals this season have been scored by players aged 21 or under. So it's a huge game. I think Chelsea, if they pick the right squad, I think they could really give Watford huge problems, especially at the back. I mean, we scored 4 goals against Burnley in our last away match, which was last weekend. So I think for Chelsea, it'll definitely be an easy trip to Hertfordshire. No, it's not Hertfordshire. Oh, where the heck are Watford based? Oh, never mind. To Vicarage Road. I think it'll be an easy win for Chelsea. I'm going to say a 5-0 win for Chelsea, because if they do the same like they did against Watford at the week, not Watford, I meant Burnley last weekend, I think it'll pretty much be the same result. A Chelsea win, and they they win it by a fair few goals, which was 4 last time out at Burnley. So I think it will be an interesting encounter for Chelsea, but who knows what could happen. This is the Premier League after all, but really I can't see Watford having much of a chance in this. I mean, as you've heard, they haven't won in any of the games they've played this season. I mean, I'm just having a look at Watford here in the league table. Just gonna have a look at their results. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm just having a look at Watford at Watford so far this season. They've lost. They lost on the opening day. They pretty much, the only game they didn't lose in August was the game against Newcastle, which ended 1-1. And the EFL Cup game, which they beat Coventry City 3-0. The games that they did lose was by 3-1 against West Ham, 1-0 against Everton, and 3-0 against Brighton and Hove Albion in September. Didn't do much. They really didn't do much better. The only game that they won was again in the EFL Cup against Swansea City 2-1, but they got a point against Arsenal, lost 8-0 to Manchester City, and lost 2-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. In October, their record really wasn't much better. They got pretty much 3 points out of possible 9 in October. 0-0 against Sheffield United, 1-1 against Tottenham, and 0-0 against Bournemouth. The only match, and they lost 2-0 to Everton in the EFL Cup during the week. So not great for them so not great form-wise for them. But really, yeah, I mean, their fixtures coming up, they've got Norwich City away next Friday night, and then they've got Burnley at home, and then Southampton away, which is that is the Saturday late kickoff on the 30th. And then in December they have Leicester City, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Manchester United, Sheffield United, and Aston Villa. Really not looking great for them right now. I mean, seriously, It is absolutely hectic at Watford right now. But for Chelsea, it's like they're doing really well at the minute. But consider how things are going in their last few Premier League games. We look at how they've been doing, how they did in October. I mean, the only defeat they had was 2-1 to Liverpool and 1-0 to Valencia, which they shouldn't have lost anyway. But they beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 5-1, thrashed Grimsby 7-1, and beat Brighton 2-0 in September. In October, this is how they did. They beat Lille 2-1 in the Champions League, thrashed Southampton 4-1, beat Newcastle 1-0, also beat Ajax 1-0, which was hugely impressive, and then they beat Burnley 4-2 last weekend. And the games that they have got coming up, Chelsea, is Ajax on Tuesday night, which is an 8 o'clock kickoff in the Champions League. And then they've got Crystal Palace next, which is the early kickoff, which is the 12:30. And then they've got Manchester City on the 23rd, which is a 5:30 kickoff. And then they've got Valencia away on the 27th of November at 5:55. And then they have West Ham away. At home, actually. They have West Ham at home then. So I think Chelsea pretty much looking it up, really. So, yeah, I think it'd definitely be interesting to see what the heck is going to happen. But, guys, I'm going to have to end the live stream here because I've really got to get going because I need to travel to the Madejski Stadium for Reading versus Millwall this afternoon, which is a 3 o'clock kickoff, by the way. So, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Listen, comment down below if you have enjoyed it and what your score and what your score prediction is going to be and who do you think is going to win the match. So, guys, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm always putting up new stuff, and I will be putting up more live streams and uploads than ever before this month. That's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next live stream, which will possibly be tonight if Chelsea and Reading both get good results. So I'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.